Well, hello folks, and welcome back to another edition of BC Renovation Magazine. So we've been working away on this single wide mobile home here and trying to get ready for doing drywall and refinishing our walls, but there's a whole bunch of little things that you have to take care of before you can get get ready to do your taping and finishing of the walls. Walls have to be opened up to make changes and to the plumbing and electrical. And today I'm going to show you some of those things that I've been working on here. So this is going to be an interesting video if you're into the more technical aspect of things. Some of the stuff that I'm going to show you is kind of beyond the scope of a lot of do-it-yourselfers. I would say some of the work I'm going to show you today is more advanced or like semi-pro. But even if you can't do some of these things, it's good for you to know what goes on here, so that if you hire someone and to do the work for you, you'll be able to know what's going on and lessen the chance that you'll get taken advantage of by an unscrupulous work person. So I've been working on this little entrance back here. This is the back entrance hall. To the right I'm standing in the kitchen, and to the right here we have the back door. And to the left we have our new furnace. And the doorway that you see there goes into the master bedroom. So ensuite bath is back there. To the left here we have a washer and dryer place. So this home is a 1992, and the machines that they made, the laundry machines that they made back then were quite a bit smaller than the modern machines we have today. And this little space here is quite narrow, and we have to be careful here that we don't come into this hallway here with the machines. Something that complicates this is this way they've done this electrical panel here. And you can see how they've put this bump out here, and the panel is in that bump out. We have a 2x6 exterior wall here, and the panel is only about 3 inches deep. So they could have set the panel back in with a little bit of effort. They could have put it into that exterior wall. Still would have been lots of structural left there and lots of insulation, but they didn't. Probably for the sake of making things roll through the factory a little faster. This is how they've done it. So you can see how it kind of puts the squeeze on us here. So just kind of show you what we want to do in this area here. We wanted to go with side-by-side front loaders. Modern front loaders, if you go with full-size machines, it puts you, they come way too far out into the hallway. I actually know someone who had this exact plan, and they put the washer in and ended up they couldn't swing the door past it. It would hit the machine. So one of the options we looked at here was to do stackers. The stackers, are quite compact. What I didn't like about the stackers is that, it's quite imposing when you come up to it. It's, it's like up high. I also wanted to create a space here where I could make a little counter for, for folding clothes on. And then above that, I also wanted to have, a full set of cabinets on the wall here to store things in. Storage is very limited in these homes, and it's always good to have a little bit extra storage. So what we ultimately ended up doing here was choosing a compact set of washer and dryer, and you pay a premium for those. They were $1,500 for the pair, but they're quite a bit narrower, not as deep. But that being said, we still have to keep everything back against this wall as much as we can. So if you remember from our HVAC video, we explained kind of the problems that we were having with trying to upgrade that furnace to a more energy efficient furnace, and how the depth of our alcove there is 24 inches, and those modern furnaces are 30 inches. And I kind of explained in that video how I couldn't go back into the wall, and this is kind of why. So you can see that this wall here is a thicker wall, and it's a 6-inch wall. And what they've done is they built two walls side by side. So you can see there's a two by threes. That's the original wall there. in order to create this bigger space. The bigger space is necessary to get this big plumbing stack in here. This is a 4-inch plumbing stack. So that is a main stack that collects the waste from the other side, the bathroom on the other side, and it goes through the floor, and it also goes up through the seal, up through the roof for a vent. So I had to do a little bit of rearranging here to make everything work. Again, I wanted to have my machines go back as much as I could against that wall to keep my hallway as wide as possible. So what I did was I went down and I got the specifications for my machines, and that showed me on the back of the machines there's recesses. And so I wanted to get all of my services for these machines, you know, into those recesses so that I could push the machine back. If you don't think ahead like this, what can happen is you end up with a big dryer pipe that's going to go underneath or behind it, and you know, you lose like 4 inches right there. Pushes you away from the wall. So I had to relocate. This is the electrical box here for the dryer, and so I had to relocate that so that it was going to be in a recess. And this is the dryer vent here. We're going to set these machines up on a pedestal, this little 6-inch pedestal, just to get them a little bit off the floor to make it a little easier to get in and out of them. And so this is the dryer vent here that goes down. Right now I've got it roughed in to go. It goes down into the crawl space. Eventually it's going to go out into the skirt and exhaust out there. So the original dryer vent was in this area here, and there's I mean, you can kind of see how tight everything is here. We also have to deal with stuff that's under the floor. So under the floor right here, I have a 4-inch heating pipe. And then right here, I have a floor joist that goes out this way. Right here, I have another floor joist. And I have another one over here. And then from the furnace going this way, I have a 16-inch wide duct underneath there as well. So that original dryer vent was just some of that, you know, that plastic flex pipe, and it was just kind of squished in between this space underneath the floor, and so you can see how that would restrict the flow of the dryer. So I've relocated this now so that the machine is going to push right back against that, and the exhaust on the machine is going to line right up with that pipe, and it'll just push right back in there. And this is going to be in the recess, so that dryer should sit right straight back there. Kind of done the same thing with the washer. So I relocated the plug for the washer over here. And the old washer box was up here, and they just had this these taps just screwed to that piece of wood in there. It wasn't, you know, finished at all. The old drain pipe for the washer came up here as well, and down here. So this is going to be the height of my counter here. So this, you know, was above the counter. I didn't want this above the counter. I also wanted it more finished. So I got a hold of this washer box here, and this is going to be again in behind the machine in the recessed area. So the hoses and everything will be in the recessed area of the machine. It's going to let us push that thing right back. So this is the drain. So the drain comes down through here. The water comes through here, down here, through this pipe, and then down and onto the sewer pipe, main sewer pipe underneath the home. So this old gray pipe here that you see here, this is the original polybutylene. I'm going to be taking all of these pipes out and replacing those PEX. And so you can see my new PEX piping here. This pipe is still here. The hot is gone, but the whoops, got a little water going here. Okay, so the hot is down there, and this is the cold. So this is going to get cut off. There's, as you can see, there's still pressure on this because we still have water in the home, but the hot has been disconnected. So I'm gonna repair all of this. You can see there's these holes go down into the crawl space there. So that's going to get repaired, just as you can see that I repaired these guys over here. Stick this back up in here. So that old dryer pipe was a big gaping hole there, And around this stack, it was also cut way out around on both sides. And that was letting all kinds of bugs and mice, and we actually had rats in this wall. They got up through those big cutouts. So you can see how I've tightened everything up here with this extra piece of wood that I put here. And I've caulked this. You can see this black caulking material here. And that is something called Acousti-Seal. That is an acoustical sealant. You can see it's just in a caulking gun there. And that is, that's better than foam. A lot of people use the spray foam. What's the problem with the spray foam is that it sets up hard, and then the rodents can chew through that. They can't chew through this. This stays very, very sticky. And if they try to chew this, they're going to get it in their mouth, and that's going to be it for chewing for them. So these, here's my new pipes coming up. I've got, I use the blue PEX for my cold, and I use the red for the hot, just to keep myself straight. And so I've got that roughed in down into the crawl space. I'll show you that when I go on the other side of the wall here. But it comes up into the washer box here, to these valves. And then if you look back in there, you can see how I've teed both the hot and cold. And so then I've got another 2 pipes that come up behind the washer box, and they will go over to the shower. There's a shower tap on the other side over here to supply them. All right. Down here, this white one, I've teed into the cold line here, and that pipe comes across here, and it goes out the wall through here. And on the other side of this, we have the ensuite bath, and there's a toilet there. So this is going to be the new supply for the toilet. Now, one of the things that I tried to get this the dryer vent all the way back tight was when I bought this recessed dryer vent box, and I thought I'd use that. The problem with that was that I had to come out the top of the box and then make a coil to to get back down out underneath of the home, and you can just see there's all the stuff that's there. I just didn't have room to get out. So I ended up going with this. This is pretty simple. That box was cost me 60 bucks, and it's pretty expensive for a piece of plastic, so it's going to go back, and I'll spend my 60 bucks on something else. Okay, so now that kind of shows you what's going on the inside of that wall. And you can see there's a lot going on there with plumbing, electrical, and the dryer vent. So if you don't think about these things ahead of time, you go to slide your machines back, then you find out you can't get your machine back against the wall, and you've lost all that space. So now this is on the other side, and so here's the shower. The shower tap, and if you've ever wondered what's behind that shiny plate in your shower, behind your shower tap, this is it. So what we have here is that's a mixer valve, and so you can see that we have the blue line is the cold, and the hot is the red one. Comes into the mixer valve, and it mixes the water in the valve here, and then it goes up the pipe. Up there, okay, and then over here, and over here to the shower head. Now, usually you'll see most showers, they have the shower head above the tap, but this shower is a longer shower, so this is the 3x4. So where I'm standing right now is where you'll open the door, and there'll be a glass panel to my right, and so you'll just reach in and turn on the shower there, and then you'll step in, and then you'll be underneath the shower head there. So you can see how we had to open up the wall on this side. So this is all done in preparation for getting our final drywall on, and getting ready to tape. So here you can see where we've brought those the pipes down through this plate here. So that's the hot one, and the cold one is to the left of that. And here they are down in the crawl space. And so here is this is going up to that washer box, okay, and this is the hot and cold. And you can see there I've started to put together. This is a 3/4 inch. These are 3/4 inch fittings. The pipes that I've installed are 1/2 inch, And so my main pipes, supply pipes, hot and cold, are going to be 3/4 inch. Now, to the left, as we go that way, I will be tying into the, underneath the floor, I'll be tying into the hot water tank, which is over here. And so this is the main water here. This is just temporary all above this, but this is the main water comes in from the street here. And it's going to connect to those new pipes. So I'm going to have to cut a hole in the floor here, and I want to do all of this as much as I can from the top. It's no fun crawling around underneath these things, and so I'm going to be able to do most of this just by opening up the floor, change most of these pipes from the top. One thing, oh yes, and also here, so over here we're going to have a sink. So again, underneath the floor, I'll just pull those pipes underneath, and all that stuff's going to get connected up to these pipes, and then we'll go head to the front of the home, pull it through through holes that I'm going to cut in the floor further down. So what you see here, this pipe with the orange cap on it, is it's the drain for what was the tub here. Now we're going to have a shower, so for this I will have to go underneath and do that from the bottom. So what I've done here, so I know where I am underneath there. When I go down, I've shoved the stick down through the membrane, through the belly wrap, and that's sitting right down on the ground there now. So what I'll do is I'll go underneath and I'll find that stick, and I know that's where I'll have to cut the belly wrap to get access underneath in order to install the P-trap and stuff for the shower here. I'll just give you a kind of a little look, if I can get down here, of what's underneath the floor here. So there you can see that's the main, that shiny metal pipe there. That's the main, we call it a plenum for the furnace, and that's what runs up and down. That's about 6 by 16 inch, 6 inches deep and 16 inches wide. Connects to the furnace, and that runs the entire length, and from that there's 4-inch pipes that come off of that. So what we have here is 6 inches of insulation in this home, this R20 fiberglass, and underneath that fiberglass is the belly wrap, and then underneath that you're down to the ground. So you can see how all of the plumbing pipes here are running underneath. All those gray ones are going to get replaced. And so this space underneath here, again, here's some more pipes. All these are going to get replaced. So all of these pipes run in this heated portion of the home. This little space underneath here is all heated, and so that way, that's how your pipes don't freeze underneath there. All right, so something else that I had to do here is on the other side of this wall is the kitchen, and so I wanted to put another electrical outlet on the counter out there, and so this electrical box that you see here, there's no wire there yet. It's just a box, but I'll have a wire come out of there, and it's going to come into this little alcove here. It comes down, and it's going to come through here. And again, you can see here I've got this fiberglass fishing rod here that I've marked this. Again, I pushed that through the belly. It's down in the space. So what I'll do to get the wire from the panel box is just go push the wire down from the panel box underneath, go underneath, and then I take my wire to that fiberglass rod and pull it up and then connect it to the box. Very, very easy way to get a new circuit into a new box. There you can see that green rod, down there. And so if you remember, we had a jacuzzi tub in here, and so to run the pump on the jacuzzi, there was actually a separate circuit that came in. That's a requirement because it's a heavy motor in that pump, and it also had to be protected with a ground fault circuit interrupter. So we had a circuit coming in here. We're not going to do we're just doing the shower now. So I ended up with this an extra circuit in here that I could do something with. So it's all to here. I've got a ground fault breaker in the panel, and what you see here, this is the old control for the jacuzzi. And I thought, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize that, and I'm going to put electric heating in the floor here. So I've got this roughed in. So this is going to become the, I'll just show you here. This is going to become the thermostat for the heating floor. This will get mounted right here on this box eventually, and that will control the electricity to the heating. And here I've got this all ready to go. This is roughed in, so I'm using a system called Warm Tiles, and they use a DFT cable. And so this is the roll of cable. Once we get ready to do the floor, this will get laid in the floor in a kind of a grid, and that's how we're going to heat the floor under the tile. So this is this is the Warm Tiles. This is what I'm using. This is made by Easy Heat. It's the same people that make our heat tapes for the main water line underneath. I really like their products. So that's just kind of showing, what we're doing here to get, we're almost ready to start, tidying up the drywall here. Next week we'll be getting all these little things, drywall places fixed up and filled up, and get ready to start doing the taping and finishing. It's just been a lot of work to get all these little things tidied together. What I was working on today was putting the new lighting in these little bulkheads that I've got. So we've gone with the LED lamps in there. I'll just give you a little peek out here in the kitchen too. So here you can kind of see how this bulkhead has come up with some of the lighting in it. Where this bulb over here is going to be the pendant lamp that's going to hang down. So lots of hole cutting. You can see, to get up and over. We had to get a wire up and over from there to there, bulkhead to bulkhead. So that's it for today, folks. Just wanted to give you kind of an update on where we're at and show you some of the things that are inside of the floor and behind the walls, and hope you found that interesting. So we'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.